Greetings. This video right here is dedicated to the original Asiatic black man. It's entitled The Black Man's Declaration of Independence, or I should say the original Asiatic black man's Declaration of Independence. I'm going to use the works of Deputy Director of the National ACLU, Jeffrey Robinson, to kick it off with. And we're going to make a case. This whole United States of America is a fraud, and you're not legally bound to adapt its ways, especially if it goes against your human rights and dignity. It's your God-given right to reject anything that's corrupt and immoral. And you don't have to go along with it. So this is my Declaration of Independence. And I'm offering you to join in on it. So let's get started.
We have shooting after shooting after shooting in this country, and we talk about the Second Amendment, and I would like to have an uncomfortable moment with the Second Amendment. Maybe people in this room are familiar with this history. My jaws dropped when I read it. By the time the U.S. Constitution was ratified, hundreds of slave uprisings had occurred across the South, and in many areas, blacks outnumbered whites. The only way you keep a group of people who are more than the group of people you're in, the only way you keep them under control is by violence. It's with guns. State militias were used to both prevent and put down slave uprisings, and Sally Hayden, who wrote this book, says slavery can only exist in the context of a police state, and the enforcement of that police state was the explicit job of the state militias. This is what the state militias wore. And an uncomfortable truth is that modern-day police departments had, as part of their formation, the history of state militias. I'm not saying that modern-day police departments are slave catchers. There are other people who will say that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this is part of our history, and ignoring it and pretending that it doesn't exist doesn't make sense, because one of the things I'm going to ask you to think about is how information gets passed down from generation to generation to generation so that people understand how they can live in the world. One of the things I want you to think about is from the early 1800s, that badge to black and brown people meant power, it meant violence, and it meant death.
The Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion in Modern English. A one-page summary. Goyim are mentally inferior to Jews and can't run their nations properly. For their sake and ours, we need to abolish their governments and replace them with a single government. This will take a long time and involve much bloodshed, but it's for a good cause. Here's what we'll need to do. Place our agents and helpers everywhere. Take control of the media and use it in propaganda for our plans. Start fights between different races, classes, and religions. Use bribery, threats, and blackmail to get our way. Use Freemasonic lodges to attract potential public officials. Appeal to successful people's egos. Appoint puppet leaders who can be controlled by blackmail.
This is Elder Blacklight coming to you on September the 13th, 2020, declaring my declarations of independence. This is sort of like an online petition to see how many of you want to join on. I suggest that if this video interests you, that you share it with others. YouTube won't notify my subs when I make a video. They call it shadow banning. And this is a brief to let you know that the videos that follow will make a case that the black man is not legally bound to any contracts, because this is a fraudulent system. There's nothing legitimate about it. And there's nowhere you can go to get justice in this system, because it's so many layers of corruption in every aspect, in the religion aspect, in the justice aspect, political aspect. All of them are working for an illegal cabal or gangsters that really con the whole world, using force to back up their con, the whole planet. Now you see them marching and protesting, and well, all you got to do is simply don't participate in the system. Separate from the system. We're kind of tied to the system through finances, through economics and money. But first you got to separate yourself mentally and be independent mentally, have an independent thinking, and then everything else will follow. I'm declaring that the Nation of Islam to be a separate, independent nation from the United States. We already a nation. Now all we got to do is start acting like a nation that Master Farad Muhammad set up 1930, July the 4th. We don't have to ask their permission, because they are attacking us with biological weapons, other kind of weapons, economic weapons. I could go on, but time is running short. We're going to come back with a part 2. And then we're going to prove what we say. This is Black Light.